Welcome back, Fight Degenerates, episode 4. We got Ryder Rhino Newman, we got Brian the Butcher Battle, and our special guest today, my guy Kenny Dusseault, strength and conditioning coach out of Canada. Where exactly in Canada are you at?
Lived in Calgary, Alberta, born and raised in Ottawa. Or,
Right on.
I guess grab a mic for that. Lived in Calgary, Alberta, born and raised in Ottawa.
Right on, right on. And just some questions, man.
Just real quick, Calgary, isn't that where GSP was from?
No.
No, okay. I was confident about that. I was like, that's where GSP's from.
Montreal.
How far is that from Calgary?
4 hours?
Oh,
4
yeah,
hours
so
by plane,
it's
I'd
like-
say.
okay,
Yeah, it's
okay.
closer to Ottawa than Calgary. But
For sure, okay.
That's one day.
Yeah,
One day,
yeah.
same ballpark.
Now, I
Yeah,
have
you're
a
close.
question.
You're pretty close. It's in the same country.
From here, it's in the same direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go north.
Just keep going a little further. You'll find it.
Hey, now, Kenny, we have a lot of fighters on here, so we're always talking fighter mentality, telling fighter stories. What I'm excited about is we have you on here, a high-level strength and conditioning coach. And like we talked about earlier, a lot of MMA fighters, I feel like, don't understand how important strength and conditioning is in this sport. And I could say that personally, too, because I was one of those guys probably the first 4 or 5 years of my career, never touched weights. I mean, I was running, jogging on my own, but never really had a strength and conditioning program. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you here and pick your brain on everything. And hopefully there's some other fighters out there that could take note, and learn from this man and have a successful career.
Hell yeah.
So with that being said, man, how'd you get into strength and conditioning and all that?
Dude, honestly, it was something I wanted to do forever.
Yeah.
I was probably 13 the first time I said I wanted to open a gym.
Crazy.
And, the actual direction kind of changed a bunch of times. Like, in the beginning, I wanted to work in professional hockey because I grew up watching hockey.
Yeah.
And then...
Canada, of course.
and then realized over time that the job, like the strength and conditioning job in, like, the NHL and everything like that, like, you're on the road 10 months a year.
Yeah.
You're, like, the hours are absolutely insane because like
sure.
the players have certain times they're practicing, so you have to work around them. And I was like, it would be cool, but like I don't want to live
That's a
like
lot.
I don't want to live like that.
Facts.
And then it kind of turned into like I want to open my own gym. I was kind of working with everybody, and it's been the last like 7 years probably that it's been really all combat sports.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and it's just like this. Like I started working with a few fighters at my gym in Calgary, and like it was just one of those like started working with these guys. They had their first few fights, and I was like, this is it. Like,
That's cool.
And I just got because, once again, it's like, if this is one of those things, if you know, it's like each sport discipline, you can do general workouts and, get the same, but like a football player needs a different workout than an MMA
100%.
fighter. Like, a baseball player needs a different workout than a basketball player. So it's like, kind of like what Ryder was talking about, if you're just doing general workouts, it's good, what I'm saying, it's better than nothing, but it's like something I found when I started doing strength and conditioning is like it made my actual MMA technique better because I figured out how to use my body better.
yeah, that's what I absolutely love. Like, I love you just said that because it's like people get this feeling, right? They're like, oh, strength and conditioning, that's like, you just do 1,000 reps of a bunch of really hard shit and then like there's your workout. And it's like just because you worked hard, it doesn't mean it did something for you.
Yeah.
But it's like it's about teaching yourself how to use your body better. Right, and it's like getting more work through your hips, improving your ability to rotate behind a punch, like all those things that like you do while you're doing skills, but you're not necessarily focusing on. Mm-hmm. And it's like obviously you guys know like this sport puts your body through a fucking beating.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like if you're not doing anything to like reinforce it, eventually all of a sudden that range of motion in the shoulder that used to be up here is now over here, and like your body just starts getting worse.
No, straight up. It's so I feel like this happens. No one says it until you hurt your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And you hurt your shoulder, you're unbalanced. You're like, what do you mean?
Oh, really?
You're always going forward. It's like, why did you wait to tell me this? You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to start off with this. You know what I mean?
You didn't want to tell me this a couple years ago, so I can actually do something about it.
Give me a little band. You know what I'm saying? A little something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's. Because it's like, that's what I also love about strength and conditioning is that it can kind of be physical therapy at the same time. Like, it's not physical therapy, but it can have physical therapy aspects to it.
It should, honestly, because it's like, if you're not, like, that's one thing I enforce with my guys all the time. I'm like, it's about keeping your body healthy. Like one of the guys that you're working with at Extreme, like he was, dealing with some issues, and it's like he's worried about like, missing a workout, anything like that. It's like I get it, but at the same time, it's like if you hit every one of your workouts, but you're going into a fight on one leg because you're all screwed up, or you're going to a fight with one arm, I don't care how good your cardio is, that's a pretty big disadvantage, right?
100%. 100%. Nah, 10,000%, so because it's like one of those like psyche things where it's like you have to trust, you know what I'm saying? That's where it's nice to have someone who can kind of like reassure you, because it's like if you don't have anyone to reassure you, it's like you like you said, you're like, oh man, if I don't run right now, the other guy's running, you know what I'm saying? If I don't go to wrestling practice, like sure, I can't lift my arms above my shoulders, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta practice.
Like, sure, my knees feel like trash, but it's like I have to go to practice, like there's different paces you can hit in the practice, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, once again, it's nice to have someone, so it's like, you're not cheating it, you know what I'm saying? Because there is a fine line between cheating the work and then, like, doing too much work, you know what I mean?
Well, and dude, like, it's funny you say that, too, because, like, my following on Instagram has grown quite a bit the last couple of years, and, like, that's one of the number one things I get is like, oh, this guy's telling us not to work hard. I'm like, no, like, it's just that the hard work needs intent, right? It's like 100%. If you can't move your arms, or like you can't move your head over to the side, like how good is that wrestling practice going to be? Like, what are you going to get out of that versus like take the day, let your body recover, and then go get an actual practice in tomorrow. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because I think people confuse time spent in the gym with like you said, intentional reps and getting actually like doing things to actually get better. You know what I'm saying? Like actually having productive, like using your time well in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like that's like I always say, it's like it's not who spent the most hours, it's who's the best prepared, and like you can get better prepared in less time. And it's like not that you don't need to work hard, of course, but it's like it's about the preparation. Like if you spend, like I get guys all the time, they're like, oh, I stay after practice for an hour and hit the bag, and I'm like, cool, what are you working on? They're like, well, hitting the bag.
Yeah, facts.
Like, yeah, but if you're just doing this at a bag, like you're not getting better at anything. Like, go home.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said that too, bro, because that's one thing I was going to talk about was, as you can see, bro, you've worked with plenty of MMA fighters now. The mental side of things, like so many guys they need guidance. You know, so many MMA fighters, like, dude, when I first started, I'll never forget this. I hop in, I have a fight, and I'm like, what do I do during fight week? And the coach is like, just chill. Just chill. What? And I'm like, what? So I literally took just chill to the next level, and 3 days before the fight, I'm chilling. I was like, he said just chill, and then I'm fighting.
What am I doing wrong?
Luckily I finished the guy in like a minute, but bro, that minute I was dead tired. I was like, oh my God, so I have to fix something. But I think that's where you come in too, bro, because fighting's so mental. So checking all those boxes, if you can check all those boxes, you can step in the cage and have a little, self-righteous moment where I did everything right.
100%.
And I think that's good where you can come in because, again, fighters need guidance.
Yeah. And
you have a plan for these guys and you kind of break it down to them. And do you have different plans for different athletes, of course?
100%.
Okay.
Like, there's going to be a lot of similarity because, like, if you're training for a fight and you're training for a fight, you got to be strong, you got to be fast, you got to be explosive, you got to have the conditioning to go 15, 25 minutes, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you have, like, a little shoulder injury you're dealing with and you don't, well, then we can go a little heavier on the upper body, whereas it might be a little more rehab on the upper body, right? So it's, like, taking the basic idea of, like, this is how we build these qualities, but then like switching it up based off of like, if I have a guy that I know has had shoulder issues for years, it's like the warm-up's always going to incorporate like 3 to 5 exercises to focus on the shoulder so that it's like, even if he's aware of it, he's not worried about it.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Whereas like somebody who's never had that, you're still going to do some stuff for the shoulders, but I'm not going to focus on it as much.
Smart.
Because like, still important, but we don't need to put the same time into it as the guy who's dislocated it 3 times.
Absolutely.
Worried about it happening again, right?
For sure. Now you have a gym in Canada?
Yeah.
And you do online too, right?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
The online's a blessing, man. Otherwise, if I wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here.
You want to do a little plug for yourself real quick?
I mean,
shout it out, man.
Yeah, sure. Like, so basically, the Instagram account is really where everything happens.
Yeah.
Coach _ Dusseault. We can spell that out in the comments. We can spell that out in the description for you guys.
D-U-S-O.
Dude, that's not the worst guess I've had, though.
Nice.
Somebody guessed that there was an N in there somewhere. No fucking idea what it is.
That's just like they out French themselves.
Yeah.
It just sounds.
It's like it sounds French. There's probably an N.
Now, what's the difference between, I mean, besides the virtualness and everything, but what's the benefits from the online compared to being at the gym? Is there any really...
So the big thing is like people get very worried, and like there's nothing wrong with having a coach there, obviously.
Yeah.
Like it's not that it's going to be a bad thing, especially when you got guys like Gavin at the PI. Like guys like that are phenomenal. But it's like what you run into with a lot of people when they're in person is it's just like they're just kind of sitting watching your reps.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
And it's like I have some guys that I still work with in person, but it's like after a while, like you don't really need me there. Like you know what to do, you know how to do it, you know when to show up, you know what to like. Why you don't need me to like really sit and do every single thing with you. So it's like the virtual, it's like it's nice because first you can deliver everything. Like you're not paying by session anymore, you're paying by program.
For sure.
Right. And it's like so instead of $100 an hour, it's a couple hundred a month.
Yeah.
And it's like the program gets tweaked for you.
That's it.
And then it's like you're able to make all of those little adjustments as you need. And like I always tell my guys too, I'm like, send me videos of anything you need at any time. We'll break it down for you. We'll make sure that it's like, if you're unsure of how to do something, shoot it over to me. We'll break it down. We'll make sure that you do it.
That's awesome.
And then it's like, so you get all the value, and like we have it all on an app. So like you get videos, written explanations of everything.
That's
so it's like, and then we can really figure out why you're doing stuff too.
Yeah.
It's not just random workouts for the sake of it. It's like it's all written in like, for an MMA fighter, this is going to help you with this. This is how it's going to help you.
Yeah.
Right?
I like that too, man, because when I did start lifting weights, I went for the beach body. I'm hitting my bench press. I'm hitting my lat pulls. I'm
pull legs, baby.
And I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and like I'll say, like once again, like one of the great things about just the reassurance of having a strengthening and conditioning coach. Like I remember. Like, that was, like, one of the big things. Like, you got to kill your ego when you walk into the S&C session. Because, like, there was one time I took one of my teammates to come to a session with me. And we were doing box jumps. And he had just started doing it, like, 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Been doing it for, like, 3 weeks. I've been doing it for, like, 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when he first comes, I'm doing better than everything because I know how to. Yeah. But he's a freak athlete. So, we're doing these box jumps. And we both get the first box pretty easy. And the trainer, he's like, oh, you know what? Let's try going up a little bit more. Let's see what we can do. Yeah. And I jumped and my toes got on the box, right? Like it was like I had to do a balancing act. And he was like, all right, well, Battle, maybe we'll drop you back down. And I was like, and I saw this motherfucker glide. You know what I'm saying? Like
levitated.
Yeah, he just hit the roof. Floated back down. Yeah, one of those guys. I've seen those before.
My ego just kicked in. I was like, no, I'm not going down. I'll figure it out. He was like, no, I really think you should go down. I was like, Dan, I'm not going down. A rep later, I have a big old dig in my missing the box, and then I was like, I'll never not listen to you. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. My bad.
Whatever you say goes forever now.
Like, I got worked up. You're the professional here. That's why you're the coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And it's like the ego is always going to be a thing, and it's like I always try to give guys. I'm like, we'll give you a little bit of that. Like, let's let you compete a little bit, do whatever. But it's like. Yeah, it's just that. You got to understand, right? It's like, what are you here to do? Be the best box jumper or kick ass when you step in the cage?
Yeah,
right? And it's like,
100%.
I always tell guys too, it's like, it's the output over the exercise. So it's like, you can, even this week, like we had the wooden boxes at Extreme and I didn't put anybody over like the shortest height because I'm like, I don't want to take the chance that you like mistime the jump or something and end up cracking your shin off it. And now you can't go like take advantage of the week training with all of you guys, right?
100%.
But it's like, still focus on as much power as you can off the ground. Like the exercise doesn't change regardless of the height of the box.
100%. Yeah. You're doing it the right way, right?
Exactly.
Because that can be one of those frustrating. Like you talk about conditioning drills, like if you do it the right way, and like have you ever
it takes away from it
drill and like someone you're doing it the right way, and someone's not doing it the right way, and they're like, "Why are you tired? Why are you so tired?" I'm chilling. You're like, "Cause you cheated, bro." You know what I'm saying? Like you did the reps, but you didn't do them the way you're supposed to. It makes such a difference if you do it the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, man, and it's like the amount of weight too, right? It's like. I tell guys, it's like we're never after a 400-pound squat. We're after making sure that the technique's right so that when you step on the mat, you're like, oh, hamstrings are firing, glutes are firing. We're ready to actually hit this session,
It's like because like even like with something like wrestling, like something I had struggled with on my squat that I didn't even know about was I would bow my back when I was like starting to come up. I didn't even, it's like because you don't see yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like one of my biggest problems with my shot was my back wasn't like an airplane type stuff. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go.
And it's like my hips weren't coming the way they were supposed to because like it was easier to break me down.
Yeah.
And it's like now. And as soon as he pointed that out on my squats, I was like, oh, there it is. Oh my God, it all makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? Like the amount of like light bulb moments you can have.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, honestly, for me, it just came from watching fights.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'd watch movements and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, like if somebody shoots in for a takedown, the body's kind of positioned like this. And like, I don't have a huge background in the skills or anything like that. So it's like, I always tell guys too, I'm like, if I ever try to tell you like, oh, this is how you throw your jab, it's like, fire me. Like,
Yeah.
That means I've lost my shit and I've like forgotten my place. Like that's not what I do. But it's like it's the mechanics that go into it, right? It's like I know that the hip needs to lead the movement, that the rotation needs to happen. Like I understand the mechanics, but I'm never going to be the guy game planning shit. Like,
100%. But it's like you can help make all their weapons more efficient and deadly.
Yeah, exactly. Like the skills win you the fight, but the strength and conditioning allows you to actually implement the skills,
100%,
right?
100%.
Oh yeah, no. I was just wondering too. With that all being said, like, do you have different like programs, different things when a fighter's in camp compared to not in camp?
For sure. Like the way we pretty much build it, I gotta say too, I'm loving like the
rotate. Hey,
Dude, I'm happy you said that. I had it in my head. I was like, man, we're
like this is
smooth transition.
We've had a couple practices. No, but we've been doing this for like a couple episodes now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This has been the smoothest transition.
Oh, this is awesome. Every time we're just like, oh, this goes here, this goes here, perfect. But back to like off camp, in camp.
Yeah.
So like the way I always look at it is like off camp, we're building a foundation.
Yeah.
And it's like the idea is to peak it up at the end of camp.
For sure.
Right. So it's like basically we're building like the ability to keep a steady pace for a distance, and then we're building the basic strength.
Smart.
And it's like now the strength's the foundation of everything.
Yeah.
But if you're weak, I don't care how good your skills are. If a guy's strong enough, he's gonna just fucking smush you.
Yep.
Right. So it's like you need both. But if we can build a strong strength foundation in the off season, now at the start of camp, you're strong and your body has the ability to maintain a high pace.
Cool.
Then from there, it's the muscle endurance.
Yeah.
And then it's the ability to repeat explosive power.
That's
right. And that's
crazy.
like obviously super simple way of breaking it down. But it's like that's all at the bottom, and then like once the foundation's built up strong, camp is just peaking it up to the top with the power and the endurance, right?
So are you changing it, like adjusting, like, okay, this week we're doing this. Okay, now we're 2 weeks out. We're going to slow this down
Usually
a little bit.
3 to 4 weeks at a time.
Okay,
it's like it gives the body enough time to like adapt to it. Like if you're just doing different shit every day, same thing with practice, right?
Yeah.
Like if you go in and you're just like, okay, today we're doing kind of some of this, some of that, some of this, some of that, and every week, every session, it's different. Like you're not really getting better at anything.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 to 4 weeks has been the sweet spot that like you adapt to it, you improve it, and then it's like, okay, now let's try something new.
For sure. Okay,
right?
okay,
and
okay.
I'll be honest, for me, if I'm doing the same thing in the gym for more than 4 weeks, I'm going fucking crazy.
Yeah,
so it's like,
we were talking about that too.
I got to do the same thing. I'm like, I could do 6 or 8, but I'm like, I know a lot of guys, they're going to be going into week 5, like, really, this shit again? Like,
That's fine, but we were just talking about something like that with training and everything too, you know, just in general. Like,
yeah, switch it up a little bit.
Yeah,
it's not
man.
that we don't want to build it, but like, you got to enjoy it too. Right?
Yeah,
it's like
for
if you
sure.
hate every minute of practice, you hit the point where you're like, I don't want to
Well, you're talking about intention, like you have to work out with an intention, but it means so much when you know a coach put the workout together with intent. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like if we're doing the same workout for a month, it's like you didn't think about this workout. You know what I'm saying? Like you've had this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
it's like and then you're doing you're working maybe the same muscles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just from a different position. You know what I'm saying?
And that's just it, right? Is like we've got a team too that like helps with making sure everything gets delivered the right way and all that. And it's like that's what we always talk about when we sit down with it. Is it's like we got to switch up the exercises, but it's like even if it's a back squat to a front squat, it's like we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's like we've been doing back squats for 3 weeks. Let's give them something different.
That's
like,
smart, bro. That's smart.
right. And it just makes it a little more enjoyable. It keeps them on their toes a little
Yep.
bit more. They're not just like coming in being like, fuck, I gotta
Here
do
we
this,
go
this, and this again.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel that so much. I like what you do. Like someone on your level, you're bringing the science with everything. You know, I feel like there's some strength and conditioning coaches. I can't think of any at the top of my head, but just being around the sport, you know,
seen so many, man.
that just talk and really don't have the facts and the science to back it up, you know? And I like where you're bringing, because you're not just focused, hey, we're going to get big and strong. Hey, this is the hip rotation. You need to throw this, or we're working on this, and we're going to strengthen this for this in a fight.
Exactly.
And I think that's so smart.
Dude, because like you guys are training hard already, right?
Yeah.
It's like I don't need to beat the crap out of you with the workout. I need the right muscles to be doing the right things.
For
and
sure.
It's like, could I put a workout together that's got you puking leaving the gym? Yeah. Is it gonna make you better at anything? No. So why are we doing it?
For sure.
100%. Because it's like the the intention should be kind of like, as you said, to improve, not to just puke. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like sometimes you equate puking with getting better, but it's like
it's not. That's literally your body being like, "Hey, something's wrong, so I'm going to shut down." Like, the next 3-4 days of training are shit now because like you just work your body into the ground. It's like
it's because my OG gym, there was a little while where like we really just had like we got one of those assault bikes.
Oh yeah.
It was just once we got the assault bikes, it was just like we literally had a streak where it was like,
let's kill ourselves.
5 days of people puking, you know what I'm saying? It was like
the goal was the puking streak.
It was just nice. It was just, you're like, yeah, that's kind of cool. And then, but it was funny. There was an open mat, and this one guy, he had a lot of female friends. You know what I'm saying? They all come in, and this one girl is sparring with, but he's just sitting there letting her punch him. And it gets to the last 30 seconds, she looks like she's tired, and like everyone in the gym is like, come on, last 30 seconds, push. And so she goes crazy. Like, she's hearing all this, she goes crazy. And then as soon as the round ends, she runs out to the trash can and throws up, and the whole gym was like, yeah! and then we all took a second, we're like, oh, we got issues. Like, this poor girl over here didn't ask for this.
Right.
She signed up for it.
Right.
She just wanted to come in and punch her friend.
She puked.
Another one, put it on the floor.
She's dying.
Now, I have a question, brother. When it comes to, because I see this a lot too in MMA, the overtraining.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what do you think about that, and how can it, like, athletes, MMA fighters specifically, address a situation like that? Because I feel like some people, I'll say it too, Chris Curtis, he's in his head a lot too. That's my brother, one of my best friends.
Oh, great.
But I feel like sometimes he's overtraining too, just because he's so in his head. Now, how can you help an athlete negate the overtraining in the sport?
So, number one is recovery day, make it mandatory. It's like the thing that I always try to reframe with athletes is it's like recovery is not a day off of training, it's part of the training.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, it's part of the hard training. Like, you're doing all the right things, you're ticking all the boxes like we were talking about. It's like, if you go into a fight and you skipped 8 recovery days, you didn't tick 8 boxes.
For sure.
Right?
For
so
sure,
it's like,
for sure.
you're not like, oh, I did more. It's like, no, you fucked up. You
Yeah.
you were supposed to be recovering and you did this hard session. Like, that's taking away from getting ready.
Yeah, because now you're not going to have that same pop for all the other stuff. You're dying, killing yourself.
And it's like, one of the analogies I've used before is like, if you're filling up a water bottle, like everybody thinks like, just keep filling the water bottle, eventually water's pouring over the sides.
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
And pouring more water in doesn't fill it up to here magically.
So
it's just
true,
like,
bro. That's a great
you're
analogy.
just fucking dropping it over the side. Like, you need to fill it up to here.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you really break it down, obviously a fight's hard, never gonna say it's not, but it's like, it's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't need to train for 6 hours a day to be able to go for 15 minutes.
That's real. That's
right?
real. That's real.
But it's like, when overtraining specifically, number one, if you're waking up 3 days in a row, hating the idea of going to training, going anyway, hating it the whole time you're there, that's your body telling you something.
For sure.
Like, number two, if you can't, like, pay attention to something that a coach is telling you, like, they say, like, hey, like, fix this, and then you just can't seem to get it over and over and over, your fucking brain's shutting down. It's not that you're stupid all of a sudden. You're just, you don't have the ability to comprehend that now because you're just
dead, exhausted,
get some rest.
For sure, bro.
And the last one is always like, if you know there's a guy that like usually shouldn't be able to get the better of you, but he's getting the better of you again and again and again, it's like, you're not getting worse. Your body's just done. Like, you need to give yourself the day.
That's good.
And it's like, if you're dealing with any 3 of those, it's like, take a day, maybe 2. Come back, see what happens.
I'm glad you said that, bro, because I tell some of these guys too, like, dude, it's okay to take a break. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to take a break.
Guys.
Like, honestly, these guys, oh, man, I didn't get that good in sparring today. I need to go run 5 miles tonight. It's like, no, dude, maybe you should, like, take a step back, relax, and come back stronger. You know?
Why did you not do well in sparring? Because you're exhausted.
Exactly.
5 miles going to help that. Like,
You know what I'm saying? For real though. No, I'm glad you said that.
Real quick. So just to add on to that one, what is tougher to coach around? Someone who chronically overtrains or someone who chronically undertrains?
One of the reasons I like working with fighters is because there's very rarely someone who
I feel that.
chronically undertrains.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Yeah, like I used to do personal training, like just kind of anybody and everybody, and it's like the worst thing in the world is like having to text a client, "Did you get a workout in this week? Like, are you gonna do something?" Like, oh, fuck, I just couldn't stand that. It's like fighters, very, very rare. Like the odd time with strength and conditioning, they're like, "Oh, I didn't because I'm doing more skills." And I'm like, remember when you said cardio was your problem? How about we work on the cardio? But chronically overtraining, like, dude, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? And
especially in MMA, I feel like,
all the
man,
time.
because everyone's a workhorse.
It's just such a compensation like mechanism. You know what I'm saying?
For mental too.
It's like, oh, I did more hours than him. It's like, cool, but both your shoulders are blown up, your knees are bad, and you can't bend over and tie your shoes. Like, how well are you gonna fight? Like, okay, you did more hours than him, but you can't move. He can. Who's gonna win? Like,
for sure.
And then it's kind of like you touched on this earlier. It's like, all right, so you did 6 hours. How many of those hours were good hours? You know what I'm saying?
That's the
answer. That's like something I've learned about being out here. You know, it's like, all right, if you show up and like you said, if you're dead when you show up, you're just there. You're like you're not getting better, and then you're not helping anyone else get better. You know what I'm saying? They're just like ragdolling you around. That's what Sean Strickland got on me for that. He was like, bro, you're dead beat right now. You gotta like
go home.
You're useless right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the first time anyone said that to me, it was kind of like I was like, huh.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
Well,
like, huh?
I remember one of my guys, like, he messaged me. He was like 2 weeks out from a title fight, and like messaged me. He was like, "Dude, I feel like shit today. Like, I can barely move my neck. I'm so sore. I'm so beat. Like, I'm supposed to wrestle." Like, he had 3 sessions planned for that day. I was like, "No, take the day off." And he was like, "But like, you know, like I'm so close to the fight. Like, I can't take a day off." Like, he was like all worried about it. I was like, "Listen, trust me. One day, like 24 hours, don't train. Trust me." And it's like, then I messaged him the next day. I was like, "How you feel?" He's like, "Better than I've ever felt."
Yeah.
It's amazing. Right?
It's especially like when you pushing, you give it like a little bit of a break. You're like, damn, I feel brand new right now. You know
that's just it, right? You get used to operating at 50%. And you're like, no, I feel good. It's like, no, you just don't know what feeling good feels like anymore.
Yeah,
like
as a bar.
Knowledge bomb. Boom.
You don't feel good. You think you feel good. You're just used to feeling like shit.
You don't feel good. You feel like shit. You just don't know what it feels like to feel good. It's like, give yourself a day and you're like, oh my God, like this is what I'm supposed to feel like.
No, facts.
Now I got a question. How important is stretching?
There's multiple schools of thought on it.
Yeah.
I always have mobility work of some kind in every session.
Right on.
But it's like just like sitting holding a static stretch.
Yeah.
Like there's been people that kind of, you know, say it's good, say it's not. Personally, I leave it up to you. I'm like, if you feel like it helps, awesome. I'm not gonna like really force that on anyone.
Yeah.
But like active mobility, like actually getting your hips moving through full range of motion, your shoulders moving through full range of motion, rotation, like crucial.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you get big and strong but you can't move.
Yeah.
Have fun fighting.
That's why I tell some of these guys that are starting off, you know, they get in this stance and their shoulders are so tight, they can't even like throw a punch or anything. And that's what made me think about this. Like, you get an athlete like that, okay, a big, strong guy, tight shoulders. Are you having them do extra stretching and stuff like that?
Yeah. Mobility sessions at least 1 or 2 times a week.
Okay.
It's like what we do too is we've got like, we just call them bulletproofing sessions.
Yeah.
So it's like 15, 20-minute session that's just like, okay, you're having some issues with your shoulders being tight.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll throw a 15, 20-minute session in there that you like do it 2 to 3 times a week. And it's just focused on like open up the shoulders, but then strengthen them through that range of motion.
That's good.
And it's like, so whatever area you feel is like kind of the weakness,
it's
like we're just filling the hole in the armor, right? It's like there's that one spot where you're like, oh, that doesn't feel good. It's like, let's not have that anymore.
For sure. I love that. And then, man, another thing, if there's any young athletes out there watching, any young MMA fighters that want to start doing something, maybe they don't have someone they can reach out to or anything, what's some basic, like, workouts, or where can you get these athletes going in the right direction with their own strength and conditioning routines?
Number one, follow my Instagram.
Coach Dusseault right
Coach
here.
underscore Dusseault,
Hit
you'll
him
find
up,
it.
for real.
Because it's like really my strategy on there is literally give everything away for free.
That's crazy.
Like it's like I
That's
get
good for you.
messages. I get messages from all over the world. Like I had a guy message me saying like a country I'd never heard of.
Yeah,
It's like I won our national kickboxing championships using your workouts for
That's amazing.
That's fucking awesome.
That's amazing.
That's badass.
And it's like I get those kind of messages all the time.
Okay, now we gotta shout this out real quick, because dude, that's knowledge on the Instagram page that these people have access to,
Yeah.
and I wish when I was getting going, I had access to something like that. So it's Coach COACH underscore. Now Dusseault. Can you spell that? Because I'm not gonna try.
I was gonna say, you want to try?
No, give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
D. Well, because I seen it on Instagram, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit. Dusseault, I would spell DUSO. You know what I'm saying? But because I know it, bro, I'm gonna try DSS.
Nope.
Fuck.
DUS.
Oh damn, dude, not dad.
Yeah. So
I was like, there's no you. You saying so confidently. I was like, yo, there's no
I
you.
felt that ego, bro.
yeah, I saw the confidence come out there. I was like, he thinks he's got this. Like, second letter. We're gonna
Hey, all right, you break it down to him.
DUSSEAULT.
All right, maybe one
That
more
was my
time.
second
Hey.
guess.
Yeah, that's what
That was my second guess.
All right.
That's how I would have spelt it again if I would have
Yeah.
did it one more time.
Yeah, if it wasn't DUSO, it had to be that.
Had to be that. One or the other, you know what I mean?
Now,
But yeah, like, and the other thing, like, I'll flip that question a little bit too.
Yeah.
Is like one thing I see a lot of people do really wrong.
Yeah.
Is it's confirmation bias, right? Like
Yeah.
nothing against any of the fucking legends of the past or anything like that. But
Yeah.
the amount of comments I get where it's like, yeah, but Muhammad Ali said run 10 miles a day, and it's like he fought in the 80s.
yeah, facts.
Right, and it's
Evolving.
like, dude, zero disrespect, absolute legend, nothing but good things to say.
Yeah.
That's not what you should be basing your training off of in
absolutely.
2025.
Absolutely.
Right? Like,
Now I have a question to go off of that, because
Yeah.
that's good, because I know a lot of MMA fighters feel like Chris Curtis. feel like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they run, like, is there a certain amount of times you should be running a week? Anything you recommend? Like, what is like that with running? Like, should you be running 15 miles a week?
No.
Or like, what should you be doing? Sprints
honestly,
instead?
I tell athletes, I'm like, if it feels good, go. If it doesn't feel good, stop.
For sure,
Like,
for
don't
sure.
like you don't need the running. You need the conditioning that the running builds, and
Yeah.
there's more efficient ways to build it.
For sure.
It's
For
like,
sure.
I think at like a high level, yeah.
Rotate.
I think at like a high level, it's like when you're running, it's like you like no longer like what are we getting ready for the competition? Like when I run, I'm running to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like all right, let me get this like low intensity workout in where I can burn some calories and not consume calories. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And it's because it does a lot of core work too, right?
Yeah.
You're rotating so much and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you can do that differently too. Like,
100%.
it's something like guys get so focused. They're like, well, you're a fighter. You need your miles. It's like you don't. You need to be ready for the fight.
Because like you said, like an hour-long jog or an hour-long run is a completely different pace than a 15-minute fight.
Exactly.
You know?
For sure. Exactly.
So that there was another thing that dawned on me one day because I used to run religiously. I like hurt my knees running. You know what I mean? And like one day I was running and I felt pretty good with the pace, and I was like, this isn't anything like a fighting pace. Like I still but it's like you said, it's like I'll run, but it's like I get that this run. There isn't anything necessarily like besides me. I think it's more like mental. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's more for you, and that's one thing that I always tell guys. Like, I'm never going to tell you not to.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, when I post videos saying running every day isn't a conditioning plan, you'd think I was threatening people's families.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. Like,
Crosses lines with some of these athletes. Like, what?
like I've had people actually DM me like threatening me. And it's like what? Like what? Like what everybody says. Like what about the people in Thailand? I'm like, dude, relax.
Chill, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just that people want to be they just want to be right so bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
How many times have you heard me say that? Yeah, like they don't want to have a conversation. Right?
Yeah.
It's like I'll post that video and then I'll explain. I'm like, instead, you need to break it down to the 3 energy systems. This is how the energy systems work, and like even send over like a free 20-minute video that breaks it all down.
Yeah.
And I'll get comments on those being like, You know, it's like, this fucking idiot saying that you don't need running, what the fuck? And I'm
They're like,
bro,
God, man,
brother.
they're like taking a 5-second clip out of context in the video. Like, see, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, what? That was like 5 seconds that didn't even make sense.
Don't run every day. And they're like, oh my God, he's trying to tell us. Relax.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. Like, but it's, you don't need the running specifically. And like, yeah, if it feels good to throw it in once or twice a week, do it. If your knees are banged up, skip it that day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, use it how it makes sense. Don't do it religiously despite it not making sense.
Because it's like, there's so much nuance with body types and like athletic types and like, you know, kind of like you said, what workouts like will benefit you versus like what workouts won't benefit you. And like you said, there might be someone, you know, like a Nate Diaz type, like he loves running, you know what I'm saying? Is like, for like, I don't think Francis Ngannou would be doing great running all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? That's
10 miles a day on those.
Hey, bro, ain't no way.
Like Kamaru Usman was in great shape and he couldn't run anyway. You know
For
what I'm
sure,
saying?
for sure. Now,
Yeah.
what's some conditioning What's some conditioning alternates you can do for an MMA fighter? Like, what's something that you recommend these guys do instead of running? What's some things that you recommend?
So it's all output,
Yeah.
right? So it's like the running is always the aerobic system,
Yeah.
and it's like there's something to be said like zone 2 training. It's like longer steady state stuff. Honestly, you get a lot of that from the MMA.
Yeah.
So it's like if you want to throw a steady state session like that in, hop on a bike, you can run again if it feels good. You like doing it mentally, and just kind of ticks that box, do it. But it's like you can do that on a bike, the ski machines. You can set up circuits too, like. You know, if it's like, let's say you're going to go for 20 minutes, give yourself 5 exercises, do them each for a minute, repeat it 4 times.
For sure.
Right? It's like, it's all about the duration and the output. It's not about like, okay, you didn't pound the pavement. Oh, now you forget how to fight.
Yeah. Facts.
Right? And then it's like, so that's the aerobic system. But even that aerobic system works like to a much shorter duration. So like 2-3 minute intervals at a high pace, you're still using that same system.
For sure.
But it's much more applicable to a fight, like you were saying, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, so a lot of the aerobic work we do is like 2 minutes and 30 seconds of work in complete rest, repeat that for 5 rounds.
And that's compared to here's a round in MMA. You know, you've got some amateur guys, 2 minute, 3 minute round.
Yeah.
Now we're implementing that same kind of
It's
pushing
like,
time
even,
frame.
even like, because once again, it's like the difference between like the shell shock that happened to me the first time I did a 5-minute round after getting, you know, spending all my amateur career doing 3-minute rounds. I was like, you know, it's like your body clock goes off and you're like, yo, why is this still going? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it like this is taking forever? You know what I'm saying? It's like people don't think it's like it's only extra 2 minutes. It's like, no, that 2 minutes.
It's a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in a cage, bro.
But it's like, with that being said, it's like if an amateur gets too used to the 5-minute pace, then it'll fuck them up in their fights because they're not used to having to fight at a 3-minute pace and getting their points in and, you know,
For sure.
winning a round in 3 minutes instead of 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
So one thing with that too, though, is like the conditioning's not to mimic the round.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how many times do you get into a 5-minute round and it's just the same pace for 5 minutes?
For
Never,
sure.
right? So it's like there's all the different stuff that goes into it. There's the strength of like you're clinched up, you got to keep your posture and try to break his down. There's the power of throwing the strikes. There's the endurance of like the grappling exchanges and all that. So it's not like we need to work for 5 minutes. It's we need you to be strong.
Yeah.
We need you to be fast. We need you to have the power. And we need to make sure the muscles don't fade over the course of that 5 minutes.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah, so it's like it's building all of those things like 2 minutes, 2.5 minute intervals. Sometimes they're 90 seconds. Like it's like giving you all kinds of different looks. So it's like if you have that longer, harder exchange, you're able to keep the pace. But then also it's like if you separate and now it's just kind of like throwing strike for strike, you've got the speed and the power to do that. None of them's ever fading off, right? That's what's fun about MMA too, is it's like it's such a like random chaotic sport. And it's like when I'm looking at the conditioning, I'm like
everything's happening at the same time.
It's like all of the different areas of conditioning, we just need to do this.
Yeah, you know,
like,
figure out how to make you do aerobic, anaerobic, you know what I'm saying, explosive, strength all at the same time. You know
and that's where the programming comes in, right? So it's like off season, we're focused on the baseline of it. Because without the baseline, like it's like shooting a cannon from a canoe, right? It's like if you're on an unstable base and you try to throw, like that's going to gas you out way faster.
100%.
So it's like the base needs to be there, and then we start building on the base so that the day of the fight, it's all come together.
Because it's like people take that for granted. Like because I've experienced that where it's like if you do strength and conditioning, it's not super intense, but like you're just doing foundational work. You're just doing foundational work, and then when you go into fight camp, all right, cool, we can just skip all this foundational work and like do everything better. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like people, if they skip all that, then it's like they're jumping in. It's like they're a little bit slow. You know what I'm saying? A little bit weaker. You know what I'm saying? It's like
camp shouldn't be getting in shape. You should already be in shape and peaking.
100%,
Right?
100%.
I have a question for you, Brian. Freaking, you can hold it. I think I'm loud enough.
Yeah,
you know,
he doesn't need a mic.
Yeah, you know. Hey, now I know you didn't really have a strength and conditioning coach your whole career. So when you started doing strength and conditioning, did you notice a huge result difference with you?
Well, not for me, it was huge. Because like not only that, but like I didn't go to high school, so it was like I played football and basketball, but like I was never a part of like a weight program. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never really like I lifted weights in the garage with my dad. You know what I'm saying? And didn't even do that very consistently. You know what I mean? So get into MMA, and it was always like once again we talked about the driver and the car. Like it was always like you could just like look at my body and be like, yeah, that's gonna hold him back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't judge a book by its cover, but
But you can a little bit.
a little bit. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
crazy though, bro. When you would have noticed that this guy back in the day, he was a heavy dude.
I've
You
seen the transformation.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
Shout out to MMA. You know? Shout out to MMA and having a big weight. You know what I mean? But it's just I totally lost my train of thought.
Sorry, you thought about big
The
boy
consistency
Brian.
with the strength and conditioning and all that.
Because when I started, like I said, I never really lifted weights, so I was always like a really hard worker.
Yeah.
But it's like even something like if you're doing a sprint, right? And this goes back to doing a double leg, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like moving your legs fast doesn't mean you're necessarily moving fast. It's like you have to be like stepping out and eating ground and like fully get your knees up, extend.
Actually extending the foot behind you, pressing the power through the floor. Like there's so many other pieces to it.
It's like literally that's the same thing with the double leg shot. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't just step in place.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you
saying?
gotta step through.
You gotta step through them and explode and eat up ground. And it's like that was like once again it was just like it was really cool to me like doing strength and conditioning because I was like, oh wait, like you know what I'm saying? Like they're like my coach, well, he watches MMA, but he's not, and I'm sure he's intentional with his workouts. But it's like sometimes you're doing a workout, you're like, damn, this is the exact movement that I'm fucking up right now. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's the idea. But like that tells me that it's a good coach.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like when like I'll talk to athletes all the time and they're like, oh yeah, this is my strength and conditioning program, and I'm like, well, why are you doing that? They're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's shit. Like, just stop. But
Yeah.
it's like when you can feel, you're like, oh, like when I do this, that mimics what I need here. Like that's telling me the guy's looking at it, being like, oh, this is a weakness of Brian's.
Yeah.
So when we do this is what we're focused on, and this is how it's coming back to the sport. Like that tells me the guy knows what he's doing, or is at least thinking about it the right way.
Shout out to Dan.
Right?
Dan.
Let's go.
He's a sadistic motherfucker.
You have to be a little
A little bit, right? Like
to do this for a living.
If you're not a little sadistic, then you can't.
This is the
coach
wrong
me. You
industry.
can't coach me because I'm also a little sadistic.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but especially working with fighters, like this is the wrong industry if you don't have a little
100%.
something wrong with you.
For
You know?
sure.
Are you big on Tim Grover at all?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I fucking these books are fucking. He was Michael Jordan's trainer, you know.
I got to see him speak live. It was fucking awesome.
That was fun. I bet because that motherfucker got some energy to him.
Dude,
you know?
he commands a room without saying anything. Like he walked onto the stage and you could just see like the silence comes over the crowd. It was like, okay, what's this guy got to say?
I got that aura, baby.
Yeah, that aura,
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he like if you don't know about it, he was like Michael Jordan's trainer, but like I think like out of school he like tried to be a trainer for the Bulls.
Yeah.
They already had a trainer.
Yeah.
So he was just like trying to get on with anybody. And
He was literally writing them letters, like athlete after athlete after athlete
That's
after
crazy.
athlete.
He was
one at a
hustling
time.
with
Like
it,
he was just
man.
like, I want to get one of these guys.
And
Like,
he landed Michael Jordan.
the one who responded was Michael Jordan.
Come on now.
everybody on the team is like, no, we got somebody. It's all good. It's all good. Michael Jordan goes, something more from me? Like, fuck yeah.
That's
okay.
sick, bro.
But it's like, but you talk about the intention, like his workouts, like against the Pistons, he wasn't strong enough, so they did weights, and he's watching the practices. He's like, okay, you did this many layups on the right side. We're gonna chill on the right side a little bit more today. Like he was doing like intentional stuff. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Yeah, because he was able to spend so much time focused just on him, right? That it was like you're
kinda
able to literally build everything. It's like, okay, we've done enough of this. We're gonna work a little more on this, and like, I remember hearing the story. It was like one game. he was like going into the fourth quarter, he shot like 3 air balls or something like that, and then he's like, oh, when you're jumping, you're not jumping as high as you were in the first quarter. We got to fix the power in the legs to make sure that we're doing that.
That's smart, bro.
Right? It's like every time I have a guy fight, I always send a message. I'm like, okay, through the fight, was there anything that you felt was a little weaker?
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, oh, everything felt good, but like this one little piece. I'm like, cool, coming into the next program, we're going to have a little bit of extra focus on there. Yeah. Right? It's like just intention.
Intention. The work is just a reminder.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Man, with all that too, the group of guys you brought out here now, are those guys around your area? Are they guys that are training at your gym? How did that come together?
Dude, so they're guys that I train online. Like,
oh, no way.
So 2 of the guys were from the UK. Yeah. 1 was from Denmark.
Crazy.
And then
I was going to say, I heard different accents. Right? Yeah, okay, crazy.
The whole week at the house, everybody's mimicking each other's accents, too.
That's so funny, bro.
Yeah, and like... so 1 from Denmark, 2 from the UK, 3 from the States, and 1 from Canada.
No
so like
way,
7 guys from 4 countries.
And they all got to come out here and just grind and level up. That's sick.
Literally the day we got there, like probably like an hour in, one of the guys goes, "Yo, you want to like move around a little bit?" And like we had like 10 square feet in the backyard, something like that. And it's like we got 6 guys fucking sparring in the backyard. And it's like we're at an Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
So, there's a security camera.
I'm sparring, not spar. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're sparring, I gotta spar.
Yeah, exactly. But like the best part, there's a security camera like facing down at the backyard. So I'm just waiting for this guy to pick up his phone and be like, "There's a bunch of shirtless dudes fighting at my house."
That's
like if he doesn't know MMA, like he's gonna be watching that, being like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" Like,
that's the type of thing where even if you do know MMA, it's gonna take you a second.
You see that, you're like,
what?
And like I told the guy what we were coming down here to do, so like hopefully it takes a little bit of shock away. But
yeah,
that's epic, man.
Yeah, dude, I was laughing so hard. Like we're watching them and we're like, man, this is like an hour in, 7 guys from 4 countries that don't know each other, and immediately it was just like they're like showing each other techniques. Like,
that's sick.
So
creating a little brotherhood, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So fucking,
relationships will last forever.
A couple of them are talking about like getting together to meet up and train. Like
that's sick, bro.
2 guys were both in Ohio.
Yeah.
So it's like they were talking like, oh yeah, like I'll come down to your gym, you come down to mine.
That's
like,
sick.
Yeah. So it's just like so cool, man. Like,
man, if you guys don't have a strength and conditioning coach, really tap in with this guy because he is going above and beyond to get these athletes prepared for their whole careers. You know, so I have nothing but respect, bro. I think that's super cool how you brought all these guys from all over the world together. And how you already helped them individually, but then bring them out here just to level up, not only with the strength and conditioning, but at a gym like Extreme Couture where you're having a bunch of killers. I think that's awesome, bro. You care about your athletes, man.
100%, man. It's the key. Like, it's like, it's one of those things, like, I don't understand why people get into this when they don't care about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's like, oh, yeah, it's cool to train athletes. It's like, yeah, but also, like, they're people.
For sure.
They're people.
Sure.
They have careers. They have hopes and dreams. Like, it's not just transactional.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, it's easy to get caught in that sometimes, but it's like, it's not just transactional. Like, these guys are going to, train for fights and do all this stuff. And it's like, I just started thinking about it this year. I was like, social media is growing a little bit. Got some more opportunities for myself. And I'm like, I can create more connection here. Like, I can do more than just put a program on an app. You know what I mean? Like, one of the guys, too, that like coolest story ever. We were doing like some testimonial videos about like their experiences working with me. Yeah. And one of the guys told me, he was like, yeah, the reason I started with you is because I saw the testimonial from Chris Curtis because we did a camp together last year. Yeah. And so like he was like, yeah, I was following you for a little bit. We talked a little bit already, and like I saw that and I was like, he's ranked in the UFC. If it's good enough for him, like I can give this guy a try, right?
Yeah.
And then we bring him down. Like we bring him down here. When we were coming down, I was like, like anybody you want to like get some rounds in with or anything like that, thinking if it was anybody I knew, I could try to just like make an introduction. He was like, he's an 85er, so he's like, I want to get some rounds in with Chris. Like that'd be just the best thing. Like see how I kind of stack up, right? And
is this the body shot one?
Oh yeah, you were watching those.
Bro.
Yeah, you were watching those. So like it's just such a cool thing. Like the reason he started with me was the testimonial from Chris, and then I was able to bring him down to Vegas and get him training with
That's sick, dude.
Right? And like Chris dropped him like 6 times with body shots in 2 rounds.
But tough, bro. The guy kept showing up.
Oh yeah,
he kept showing up.
Giving that 8 count and right on 7 every time.
Right back up.
Just gets up and he's like, you could see I know I'm about to get dropped.
Yeah, I'm here.
It's tough at that point because you really just don't like you're like I lose no matter where I block.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
whatever
saying?
I do, I'm kind of
No
fucked.
matter what happens, this big motherfucker's gonna hit me.
But
You know
dude,
what
he
I'm
was
saying?
stoked about it too, because it's like, you know, it's like obviously he knew he's not going into these rounds to win.
Yeah.
But it's like he was stoked about it. He's like, I got like some good feedback. I know that I gotta block my fucking body more.
He's gonna get a lot better from those
100%,
rounds, dude.
right?
Because it's like
100%.
blocking a body shot from someone who's not world class like Chris Curtis is different than blocking a body shot. You're like, damn, that normally works. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Put that here and then I'm good. It's like, what the fuck?
That's dope,
Yeah,
man.
but like such a cool thing, and it didn't even really hit me till we were doing our testimonial video,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, I started working with you because of that testimonial." I was like, "You literally just sparred with him for 10 minutes this morning. What the fuck?"
Bro, that's crazy. And bro, I gotta say, I remember when Chris started working with you and how much you helped him too. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's dope because before I even met you, I knew about you through Chris, and Chris said nothing but great things. And now seeing you bring these guys out here, seeing these guys working, and hearing your story, it's crazy. How many athletes do you have now working a little bit?
Dude, in the business now, we're up to like 130 something.
Crazy,
and it's like we've
bro.
got the team, like I said, to
Yeah.
like make sure that, you know, all the little pieces are taken care of and everything
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, we got guys in, I think we've worked with people in like 33 different countries now.
That's insane, bro. That's insane. How long you been
Power
doing
of the-
this?
Power
When
of
did you
the
start?
internet, man.
I know, it's insane, bro.
I started coaching when I was 15.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's
bro.
like not fighters at that point. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even really know MMA was a thing at that point.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I was coaching younger students in my high school in powerlifting because I was competing too.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
And like, just like, I always kind of knew I was like, coaching's going to be the thing for me. Like,
Yeah.
I loved the lifting and the competing, but I was like, it's so much more rewarding, like helping somebody else do it.
For sure.
And then it's like, went to university. I didn't even know this was a job, right?
Yeah.
Went to university to become a teacher.
Yeah.
About 2 months in, I was like, school every day forever? Like,
For real, bro. For real.
yeah, and like called my parents. I was like, yeah, I'm dropping this. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be a teacher for the rest of my life. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Told them what I was doing, and again, like looking back, I get why they weren't super thrilled about it.
For sure, for sure.
Right? It's like it makes sense. Like nobody really thinks coaching athletes is a job. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like I just knew I was like, this is it.
You passionate,
I'd rather be poor doing this than be rich doing something, clocking in at some shitty job every day,
bro,
right?
For sure.
Yeah, and it's like then it just kind of kept growing from there. Like I said, like the direction kind of kept changing, but it's like it was just like, yeah, I started working with a few of the guys in Calgary, and it was like, yeah, this is the answer.
That's sick,
fire.
man. That's sick.
dope. That's dope as hell. For real.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it just.
Rotate.
That's gonna be like half this shit.
Yeah. We're gonna get some clips.
That'd just be a real much.
Boom, boom, boom.
Just rotate.
But I mean, you know, it's like, because it's like that's how people say that's how it should be with anything. Right?
Yeah.
Anything you do in life, it's like, you know, you should be, you know, if you can make money doing it, cool. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you know, being an MMA fighter, right? You know, it's like if you get into MMA for the money, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get into MMA to like make bread, like that is a wild way to like, you know what I'm saying? There's so much easier and faster ways to like make like dependable money. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just like love it, and then like one day it's like, oh damn, I'm actually making money. I can do this shit.
I don't have to work to
I have to work 8 hours and then do another 3 hours in the gym. You know what I mean?
sure.
Yeah, man, 100%. And it's like the crazy part too. Like we've been talking about it all week. It's like it was like 4 or 5 years ago where I was like struggling to pay rent, right? And so it's like it took a long time. Like I remember coming out of university, having a buddy that was making like 60 grand a year, and I was like, holy shit! Like imagine, right? And it's like it took me way longer to kind of be like barely able to survive. But it's like we were talking even on the way here. I was like, I watched you guys on The Ultimate Fighter, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening right now?
Because it's like the journey is like so, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like an adventure the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like you say, when you first start your business, every day something's on fire. But you know what I'm saying? It keeps you on your toes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, you know, kills the complacency, forces you to like stay inspired. You know what I'm saying? That's when the magic really happens. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. And it's like, I'm sitting in Vegas right now doing a podcast with guys that I've watched on TV. And I was like, that's like, you know, it's all the struggle and everything like that. And it's like, but it's the passion that I remember like 3 or 4 times over the years being like, how much longer can I do this and not like be able to make anything out of it before I have to realistically be like, yeah, this isn't for me, right? And it's like every time I was like, no, not yet.
Yeah.
And it's like eventually it just something kind of clicked and then it just started fucking taking off.
That's fine.
That's amazing, bro.
That's
That really
fire.
is.
Yeah.
You got any more questions, big dog?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah. I was just
how we run it.
I mean, we hit. I think we went over all the initial stuff.
I'm trying to think if I missed anything because I really want the people that are watching this to really take away a lot from this. So man, is there anything that you before we close out? I want you to shout out your one more time too, bro. Because I think that's cool. The information you provide on that too, and you can really benefit. These people can learn from you just by following you, bro.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing thing. I'm gonna learn from you just following you. Honestly, bro. So I really want you to shout your spell that out for these guys again. We'll even tag in the video.
Put it in the video.
What I'm saying?
Yeah. That's ultimately the way, because even if I spell it, a lot of people get it wrong.
For sure. We'll put it in
by the
clip
time you get to the
bio.
search bar, you're like, how the fuck did he say that?
You gotta come back, search it again.
Yeah.
But before we close out, man, what's something that you just recommend to? Let's do two ways. If you're a strength and conditioning coach wanting to get better, how can you get better and provide the information to these athletes? And then after that, what's something that you recommend to MMA athletes specifically starting off with their strength and conditioning career? Like, how can you guide them in that sense?
Yeah, so we'll go coaches first.
Okay.
Number one is like never feel like you have all the answers.
Yeah.
Like it's like I know the stuff I do works, but it's like there's always something better. There's always something new. Like I brought a guy onto my team recently. We were roommates, crazy enough, but it's like he's got a master's degree in this stuff, like super smart guy, Jothan. If you're listening to this, I appreciate it. But it's like,
Jothan.
but like he helps with the programming and stuff because I was like, this guy's super fucking smart. I've learned a lot from him, so it's like, why would I not bring him in, have him like looking at some programming, just able to just bounce ideas off of each other more, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, so never feel like you have all the answers. Like you don't. There's always new stuff coming out. There's always new information. And then the next thing is like the textbook doesn't apply to real life.
For sure.
It's like you need the information from the books, but at the same time, like, if you just went by the book of like, this is how to build strength, to build power, all that stuff, my stuff wouldn't be what you see in the book.
For sure.
Right? Because it's like they don't take into account you have 2 hours of other practices, your knees tweaking, you've got this and that, whatever else going on. So it's like learn the information and then apply it to the person in front of you.
That's smart.
And like understand it's a person. It's like just blindly throwing the same shit at everybody. It's like they'll get something out of it, but it's like you can make it so much better by actually looking and being like, oh, like they've got this issue. Well, let's tweak something here to actually focus on it.
Genius.
Right?
Genius.
And the other one was athletes.
Yeah, like athletes that are starting off. Like what do you recommend to them?
Listen to the right people.
For sure.
It's like skills coaches are skills coaches, strength and conditioning coaches are strength and conditioning coaches.
Yeah.
Like I said, like if I ever tell one of my athletes, like, hey, this is how you should throw your jab, like, fire me, stop paying me, get as far away from me as possible.
For sure.
That's not my fucking lane.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, it won't ever be.
Yeah.
And it's like, I do some training now and I'm like learning about it more and I understand the mechanics, like I said, but it's like, the coaches at Extreme Couture, they do that. I'm not going to come in and be like, no, like, listen, I got the info, like, but then the skills coaches always do that with conditioning.
Yeah.
You see a lot of those guys like, no, you just got to do this, and this. It's like, why? And they're like, well, because that's what all these guys do. And you're like, okay, but actually.
For sure.
Right, so it's like, listen to the right people and then always ask why.
Yeah.
Right, it's like, that's one of the things I hate with coaches when they're like, no, I'm the coach, I said do it, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's like, tell me why.
What's the purpose?
What's the purpose?
For
How's
sure.
this going to help me?
Yeah.
And like, if a coach can't answer that question, they're probably not very good at what they do.
That's really solid advice. That's money.
And I'm gonna pass it right back.
Rotate.
You don't have to rotate.
Am I rotating? We rotating? Okay. I kind of like rotating though.
That'll be the end of the rotation.
Man, we spent so much time talking about the rotating.
The real important stuff.
It like spurred on. I was like, this is a good question.
The real important stuff, the rotating.
Damn, you came in hot too.
I know, I was ready for it.
But it's like always listening to the right people and then asking why, right? So it's like, I have so many athletes that like, that's one of the things I always pride myself on. I'm like, you can scroll to anything in a program, point to an exercise, ask me why, and I'll be able to tell you.
That's amazing.
And it's like, if I can't, either I fucked up, or we got to take that out of the program.
For sure,
right?
Man.
Like,
I remember what I was gonna say.
Here we go.
You're saying like it's okay to ask why, because it's like sometimes you can do a workout and like not at all be doing it right, and it's like if you understand why you're doing it, I need to pinch my shoulders back. You know what I'm saying? I need to keep my core tight right here, and then it's like, this is a totally different workout now.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's like, that's huge, because it's like when I talk about why, it'll be like, you're sitting through your hips to focus on the power you need when you go to shoot a takedown. So when they do that lift or do that movement that way, they're like, that's what I feel when I'm about to shoot. That's what I want to be trying to feel now. Right. And it's like always putting that in their mind of like, think about the reason. But also it's like, if you don't understand why, how long are you going to keep doing that blindly, just being like, well, you fucking said do it, so we'll do it.
Facts. Right? You can't take it seriously to a certain extent.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they're just like a disciple. You know
exactly. And it's like also, like I put that pressure on myself, because I'm like, if you come to me and you say, well, why are we doing this? I need to be able to answer you. So like when we're sitting down with programming and stuff like that, that's always the thought.
Yeah, it keeps you accountable.
What result is this going to deliver?
100%.
And it's like, obviously it helps the athlete more, but then like on my side, athletes are the business card, right?
Yeah,
it's like, if they perform like shit, like that, nobody's coming to me anymore. Like,
for sure.
Right? So it's like, we better be accountable for it.
100%.
No, I think even the guys that you brought out here, bro, shows a lot about you, because these are, some of them are amateurs, but these kids are all tough. I see them putting the extra work with you, and they're in here competing with some of the best guys in the world, so I think that speaks a lot about you, man, getting these guys ready for their careers, because I know some of them are amateurs, and when these guys go pro, they're all going to be a problem. Because we're talking about checking those boxes. You help them check the boxes, and I think that's a game changer, bro.
Well, dude, like the coolest thing was hearing them talk about the week, and they're like, man, like I got to roll with this guy, or like I got to do this, and like, man, it was just like seeing the way he did this, like just like being around you guys.
Yeah, right? Absolutely,
it's like bro. And like one cool part too was hearing a lot of them, like it was like one thing that like opened a lot of their eyes. It's like, these guys are human.
Yeah,
sure.
It's like they're not like you're not Superman. You're just a guy who's good at fighting, that's been doing it for a long time and keeps putting the work in.
Absolutely.
And it's like, so if I keep putting the work in, I can be that too. Right?
Absolutely.
It's like those dreams kind of feel like, you watch guys on TV, you're like, man, like they're so far away. It's like, no, they were where you were
doing the same
5-6 years ago.
And I'm saying like, just piggybacking it. I guess we can rotate.
Rotate.
I can't
talk about it too much though. I want to shut
Well, one of the biggest eye-opening experiences for me, like being someone who came from a smaller MMA market, is like you always watch the UFC on TV, and like you said, they seem superhuman. They don't seem like real people. And then when we were on The Ultimate Fighter, we got to go. That was my first time actually watching a UFC event live, and I was watching. I was like, oh, that's just the lights and the cameras and the production, Like they're just like me, you know what I'm saying? They're doing what I do every day. I was like, okay, all right, it's like,
this?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like the humanizing of people, like, granted, like, are they different types of humans? For sure, but are they still humans? Do they still put their pants on one leg at a time? Yeah, still put their pants on one leg at a time.
Yeah, man, exactly. And it's like, it's a cool realization. Like I remember the first pro athlete I worked with, he was a boxer, and like, I was so nervous. Like it was at the gym in Calgary. I was so nervous. I was like, this guy's 14-0. He's training for a title fight. Like it's like, man, like he's coming to me. Like what the fuck?
No pressure.
But then, I remember he walked in, and then he's like asking questions and all that, and I kind of realized, I was like, oh, I'm the expert here. Like I don't have to get in the ring and fight this guy. Like that's not gonna go well for me. It's like in there, that's all him, but it's like in here, he doesn't know what he's doing. Right. And it's like just understanding. It's like he's just a guy, just like any of the amateur guys that have come to me or anything like that. Right. It's like, 100%. But you keep doing it and you get to that level.
I love that, man. Hey, Kenny, we appreciate you for you guys all tuning in at home. Kenny Dusseault, the man, the myth, the legend. Bro, you really are a wealth of knowledge. I know me personally, I have a lot to take away from this podcast episode today. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you follow this guy online. We'll throw in his Instagram on our page too. But man, I appreciate the knowledge, Kenny. You're the man, bro. And we got to make this a regular occurrence, bro.
Absolutely,
you got to bring guys down here, dude. I'm sure we'll get you on the podcast a couple times,
Let's
dude.
do
But
it for sure.
man, I appreciate it, dude. And hey, right on, Kenny. You're the man,
Absolutely.
brother.
Hey, it was a
Appreciate
pleasure.
you.
It was a pleasure for real.
Man, we'll be down again. It was like the
For
second
sure.
day of this thing. I was like looking around at all the guys sparring in the backyard. I was like, yeah, we're doing this again.
Let's go.
It's
You're
not a
changing
one-time
people's
thing.
lives, though. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They get to come out here and train the best fighters in the world. Take it in, like you said. Like you watch these guys on TV. You see Brian, someone like that. You're like, oh my God, superhuman. And then you're out here around Brad Tavares, Chris Curtis,
Yeah.
and this, and it's like, dude, I can do that.
Like, oh, they're people too.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
You,
damn,
I think-
you see them making dumb jokes and stuff.
Yeah,
like that. You're like,
bro,
oh, that's
they
the same
humanize
joke I
it,
make
you
with
know?
my buddy. That's crazy.
It gives these guys an opportunity to realize that anyone can do this, dude. You just got to put it, especially MMA. You just got to put in the work and time and believe in yourself.
Dude,
you
that
know?
was the biggest thing that made me say, like, I got to do this more. is I'm like,
Absolutely.
that because like the first day seeing a bunch of you guys, it was like they're like, oh, like these guys, like, oh, okay, they've just been doing this longer than me.
Yeah, just regular ass people.
I can get there
man.
too.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
man. So we're doing it again for sure, and yeah, let's do this for sure.
right on. Hey, coach _
You want to give it another try?
Dusseault. I ain't spelling it. I can't. Okay.
DUSSEALTL.
Dusseault? Is there an L in there?
There is no.
Oh, what?
Wait, where did I fuck up?
EAULT. You just went
Alright, I was back.
So close though. So close. I was sure you had it.
I'm proud of how far I got.
I was sure you had it.
Hey, for real though,
That's
all of you
closer than most
guys.
people can.
Watching with this guy though, man. That's one thing I wish I did earlier in my career was have a whole strength and conditioning system. You know, that's a game changer. If you're a young MMA fighter, lock in, work with this guy if you can. Follow him on Instagram, coach _ Dusseault. Not spelling it. We'll throw it in our clips and everything. But Kenny, again, man, I appreciate you, brother.
Of course, man.
Awesome,
Appreciate
man.
you guys having me.
Yes, sir.
Look forward to the next one.
Let's get it. Hey.